Latest events, Matthew.
Well, I mean, you know more of the details probably than I do. I can just say that it's, these are violations of international law. Any targeting of civilians indiscriminately or otherwise is a violation of international law and potentially a war crime. And, I think this is a sign that the Armenian side is desperate. They're having difficulties withstanding Azerbaijan's precision drone strikes and instead are targeting civilians, maybe as an attempt to pull Azerbaijan to attack Armenian territory, which would then draw in Russia. But otherwise, it's really difficult to understand this level of brutality against peaceful civilians.
It really is. Do you have any understanding of what might have prompted this further attack by Armenia, Matthew?
Well, that's what I was just getting at. I think that things aren't going well for the Armenian army on the battlefield. There was this myth for decades that the Armenian army was invincible because of, what happened in the mid-90s, early 90s in Nagorno-Karabakh. And clearly the army's not standing up against the Azerbaijani precision-guided munitions and drone strikes. And again, it may be that Armenia wants to provoke Azerbaijan to attack the territory of Armenia, in which case, under the Collective Security Treaty Organization, Russia and the other members of that treaty organization would be obligated to defend Armenia. And Russia clearly doesn't want to get dragged in. It's been resisting any direct military involvement. So that may be what's motivating things. Otherwise, as I say, this level of brutality and illegality is impossible to understand, and it's just wrong. It should be condemned. And it may be also that the Armenian side is worried there will be more attacks on Hankendi, Stepanakert, rocket attacks, as has happened in the past, and maybe they're trying to send a signal of deterrence, but it's illegal. They can't do this.
No. What are the implications of this development, Matthew?
Well, I think that probably the emotional fervor in Azerbaijan will be at fever pitch now, and Azerbaijanis are going to be demanding some sort of retaliation, and I hope Azerbaijan, and I pray Azerbaijan doesn't attack Armenian civilians wherever they may be. I think it's, the other implication is, the ceasefire agreement reached on October 9th is now into its, I guess, its 8th day, and what kind of a ceasefire is there if civilians are being attacked like this? And so it's very disrespectful also to Russia and President Putin, who brokered this agreement a week ago Friday. And so I don't know what the implications will be politically for Prime Minister Pashinyan, but either he's not in control of his military or he's defying President Putin and abandoning his own commitment to ceasefire.
It's rather bold of him, as you said, to abandon his commitment, but how is Putin remaining silent about this? When is he going to step up, or is he going to step up?
Yeah, who knows what he's saying behind the scenes, but I can say that the ceasefire agreement reached last week was bad for Pashinyan because for the last 18, 19 months, Prime Minister Pashinyan had abandoned the so-called basic principles of a settlement that were negotiated under the Minsk Group. And he had been demanding that instead of continuing and finalizing those negotiations, to restart them, the precondition was essentially that Azerbaijan would have to recognize Nagorno-Karabakh's independence and equality under international law with Armenia and Azerbaijan. And so